Rosie's new pet. Rosie is a friendly little pink tank engine. She usually works in the shunting yards of both Knapford and Vickerstown. She is very close friends with Thomas, and has also become good friends with Henry, since they often meet up at Vickerstown. One other thing that Rosie really likes is when her driver brings his pet hamster to show her. She admires the way the hamster runs around in the little wheel inside its cage. And this often made Rosie wonder what it must be like to have a pet of her own. One morning, Rosie was shunting Gordon's express coaches at Knapford Station. But she was being very quiet and didn't say much. Gordon noticed this and decided to find out why.
Not to be rude, little Rosie, but is something on your mind, You're not as talkative as usual.
Oh, not really, Gordon. Just couldn't think of anything to say.
Well, if you're sure. Thanks for shunting my coaches, by the way. See you later, little Rosie. Express coming through!
Just as Gordon left, Henry pulled into the station. He too could see that Rosie looked a little glum. "Oh, hello, Rosie. Why the long face?"
Henry, have you ever wondered what it's like to have a pet?
No, I can't say that I have. Why'd you ask? Rosie told Henry about her driver's hamster. Henry then understood. "Well, I'm sorry to tell you, Rosie, but I don't think it's normal for engines to have pets. Well, unless you count Donald's duck, Dilly, of course."
Oh, yes, I've heard about Dilly. Do you think Donald will be able to talk to me about it?
Oh, I'm sure he would. Just as Henry said that, the Fat Controller arrived.
Ah, Rosie, just the engine I wanted to see. Now, Doc is at the steamworks being mended, so I'd like you to go and help Oliver on the Little Western for a few days.
Yes, sir. I'd be delighted to.
That's a good engine. I'm sure Oliver's looking forward to having you.
And the Fat Controller left. Henry felt very happy for Rosie. "Well, look at that, Rosie. Looks like you'll get to talk to Donald after all."
And I can't wait for it. Thanks, Henry.
No problem, Rosie. When Rosie arrived at Tidmouth Holt, she saw Oliver and Toad waiting for her.
Hello, Oliver. Hi, Toad.
Greetings, Miss Rosie.
Hello, Rosie. I hope you're looking forward to working here. There's a lovely view of the sea on this line.
Oh, I am, Oliver. And I can't wait to see the duck for the first time either.
You mean Dilly? Oh, don't worry, lassie. She's bound to be around here somewhere. Ha! And you'll love it when she comes up to you. I know Donny here does.
We hear you've been wondering what it's like to have a pet.
And in that case, Mr. Donald's the expert here.
And who knows? Maybe you might find an animal yourself whilst you're here.
Now I really can't wait.
Rosie enjoyed working on the Little Western. She got on very well with Oliver and the twins. And Donald was kind enough to show her Dilly the duck. He even told her about how he first met Dilly. One day, while she was there, Rosie was asked to take a train of vans to Knapford. At first, the journey went well, but after a while, Rosie began to hear a strange squeaking sound.
What's that sound? It's not my wheels, is it?
No, don't worry, old girl. We had them oiled just yesterday. Rosie was glad for this, but she still wondered what the noise was. She soon arrived at Knapford Station. Henry and Percy were there too.
Hi, Rosie. Henry's just told me about how you've always wanted a pet.
Yes, I do, Percy, but I've been hearing a strange noise while I was pulling this train.
Oh, I wonder what it could be. Just then, the fat controller came out of his office.
Ah, there you are, Rosie. Right on time, I might add. Now, let's unload those vans, shall we?
When the workmen opened the door to one of the vans, they removed a couple of crates. And after they did, they found the source of the squeaking noise.
Well, what do we have here? Looks like you've got a passenger with you, Rosie.
There, right in the corner of the van, was a little cat. It jumped out of the van and onto the platform. Then it took one look at Rosie, jumped onto her running board, and sat down, purring happily.
I think that cat likes you, Rosie.
I couldn't agree more, Percy.
Aw, well, aren't you the cutest little thing I've ever seen?
Well, where are we going to keep this cat? It doesn't seem to have an owner, and I doubt we'd be able to keep it at the station.
Very true. I guess we'll just have to find a home for it.
Rosie then remembered how she'd always wanted to have a pet. Then she came up with a brilliant idea.
Excuse me, sir, but I think I know what to do with this cat.
And Rosie explained her plan. The fat controller thought this was a marvelous idea.
Splendid thinking, Rosie. I think you should keep it with you on the Little Western while you're here. And then I'll make the arrangements straight away.
You see, Rosie? I told you you'd get a pet one day.
Thanks, Henry.
What are you going to name your new cat, Rosie?
Oh, I think I've got a perfect name for her.
Well, what is it?
You'll see.
That evening, Rosie was showing the cat to Oliver and Toad. The cat was asleep, so they were being as quiet as possible so as not to disturb her. Just then, Donald puffed up.
Hello, Rosie. Hello, Oliver.
Shh!
Oh, sorry. Why do you want me to be quiet out of curiosity?
Because Rosie's sleeping.
What? No, you're not. I can see your eyes are wide open.
Not me, silly. My new cat.
Donald looked over, and he saw the cat sleeping on Rosie's buffer beam. It looked very comfortable. She's named it after herself, Donald. And it's a lovely name for a cat if I do say so myself.
Thanks, Oliver.
Aye, and that be a very sweet cat you got there too.
I'm sure Miss Rose is going to protect her new cat with her life. Don't you think, Mr. Oliver?
I couldn't agree more, Toad. Rosie the cat now has her own home at the back of Vickerstown Sheds. And whenever Rosie goes to sleep somewhere else, she always takes the little cat with her. Sometimes she even takes her to show the other engines. Now that she has her very own pet, and a very cute one at that, Rosie certainly is a very happy engine indeed.